What's up, guys? NepentheZ here, and welcome back to another episode of The Road to Glory. To start things off today, guys, I have sold Neymar. He is gone. Reason being, it was actually due to the volume of fun that I had with the objective cards this weekend. And although I know Neymar is super overpowered and was a lot of fun to use, and I know we took a 200,000 coin loss on him, but I just felt it was right to get out now, get my coins back early, and use the objective players we've been grinding towards. So he's still 800k right now as well, which isn't too bad. Now for today, guys, we've got a few things to get through. It's going to be, I suppose, like a Ruin a Random-esque video. We have got our managerial masterpiece Bundesliga 77 rated squad. And we're going to talk about patch notes, and if there's time, a little bit about scripting momentum, handicap, DDA, a subject that you guys know I'm super passionate about. I know a lot of other content creators are super passionate about on the other scale of things. And just to have a few little discussions and thoughts on some of those sort of things. So this is the squad that we've got, guys, and there are some objectives that are quite difficult for me to complete with this squad that we've got. But we've got Nubel in goal with that 5-star weak foot. We've got Mukiele at right back with a shadow. We've got Kabak. I put a sentinel on him just to boost those defending and physical stats. He's so slow anyway. I think it would have been a waste putting a shadow on him. And also Turunariga, which is a hell of a name to say. I also gave him a sentinel as well, just to boost his defensive stats more pertinently. Pace in this game, I feel like we're at that stage where if you don't have the absolute fastest defenders, you might as well not have a pace chem style on your defenders, because you're just going to get obliterated regardless. If I boosted this guy to 85 sprint speed and 82 acceleration, he's still going to get ruined by, a Gelson Martins or Ousmane Dembele or something like that. So I was kind of like, what's the point? Let's boost the physical stats instead. We've got Angelino at left back, and again, he's got good acceleration, but his sprint speed is terrible. And then we've got Kostic in at the right mid. At left mid, he's 3-star, 2-star, so we can't do some objectives with him, which is scoring a finesse goal with a 4-star weak foot player. However, Max Cruz, who is going to be playing as our second striker with the Deadeye on, can score those goals. We've got Thuram, who's only 3-star, 2-star, sadly, as well. We've got a Hawk on him. I believe he's playing actually at left mid for us. We've got Boetius, who's playing at centre mid. We've got a Deadeye on him as well, mostly to boost that passing rather than anything else. And Olmo, who's another one who's 4-star, 4-star with Boetius that we can actually get the finesse goals done with. And then last but not least, we've got my main man, Huang, up top with a Deadeye as well. So I haven't really gone for much pace here, and we've gone for a 4-4-2-2 formation. Lots of numbers there. Balanced across the board, long ball and 6-6 with 1-1 on there. And then, the reason why I play the 4-4-2 instead of the 4-4-2... Sorry, the reason why I play the one with the DMs instead of the CMs, in spite of the fact that Olmo and Boetius play the same, I'll show you guys, right? When we go to instructions, see here, we can set them... I haven't right now, but we can set them to cut passing lanes, right? I don't actually have them on cut passing lanes. As CDMs, you have that option. And that's cool, because when you're using defensive-minded midfielders, like the way I like to play one DM, one like kind of offensive midfielder in the 4-4-2-2, it's nice to be able to have that option to set my didn't mean to do that, to set my player, my two DMs to, or at least one of my DMs to cover the passing lane. When you switch into a 4-4-2, however, those options aren't there. It's a completely different set of options. So that's why I prefer the 4-4-2-2 compared to the 4-4-2, and for literally no other reason. It's basically all the same. So that's the squad, guys. I don't really have much by way of the bench. We've got Daka with 93 pace and Borja with 87 in case Angelino's getting done. But for this objective setup, it's not too bad, actually, because you only need 7 wins, but you need 15 games where you have an assist. And so with that being kept in mind, we don't really have to stress too much about the wins at all, really. And so I want to just talk about the patch notes first of all, guys, right? And so the patch notes as posted by Zaro, big love for Zaro, of course, I have a mad love-hate relationship with EA. There's so many things about this game that I think are bad and wrong, and we're going to get into that and why the scripting, handicap, and momentum debate came up massively today again. And again, I fully respect. For example, I know I was watching Nick 2080's stream when he was like reading through my tweets, and he greatly refutes my opinion. And listen, Nick's not just one of my best friends through this industry, but one of my best friends just in general. And I completely respect his opinion. I absolutely disagree with his opinion, and I would argue my point until the cows come home. But I want to make sure what we get today and what we get out of today is used and utilized as an experience where we can all just learn, you know, like all gain more knowledge. And whether or not that changes your opinion at the end of it, you know, appreciating, understanding it, and accepting somebody else's opinion is far more valuable, in my opinion, than just flat out saying, no, you're wrong, you're stupid, you know, and leaving it there and not even trying to educate yourself in any manner. So the first thing for the patch notes, I'm going to try and read this whilst playing this game, which might not be, that's a nice goal, too easy. Reduce the speed at which the ball travels when performing driven or driven ground crosses. And I think, personally, I think this is a bad move from EA. What I will say, though, is I tweeted out that I think that this is bad, because what I think this does is I think this removes one of the scoring aspects within the game, right? And obviously the patch isn't here yet. Oh, hello, EA. The patch isn't here yet, so it hasn't. I think it's out on PC at the moment, but it hasn't impacted me at all yet, which is obviously very, very good. But go on in. Oh, it's terrible. But it is out on PC. But yeah, the patch isn't out yet. But when I tweeted about this being a bad thing, in my opinion, the biggest response actually was from the pro clubs community. And apparently, and it seems like, and this might be what's kind of driven the change more than Ultimate Team, apparently, like, the low driven crosses are what constitute towards like 80 to 90% of goals scored in high-ish level clubs. Like, once you start getting up to the higher divisions, that's the only way really to score, or it's the only way people do score, is via using the crossing technique, you know. And so I can understand in that regard if, and I suppose why. Oh, come on now. Come on, I need that finesse shot. Oh, no, Huang. Nope, that was for Boetius, but never mind. Yeah, if and or why the thing got nerfed. But for me, what this does in Ultimate Team is it removes a scoring like method. And there are already a lack of scoring methods in this game that make sense. And so nerfing crossing, for me, is something that absolutely does not make any sense at all. I know it's only one crossing style that they've nerfed as well, but when we first started playing FIFA 21, crossing was a really, really viable way of scoring because the way defenses worked. Now, they've changed the way defenses worked a couple of times. They've changed the interception logic, the blocking logic. People have figured out a few ways with regards to, with regards to defending, on how better to set up tactically to stop things like crosses and whatnot. And so, you know, for me personally, I don't think we should be removing the ways to score goals. What I would say is balance it, in which case this might be a balance, but I would say, first of all, balance it. But second of all, we should be increasing the ways to score various methods. You know, we should be making people like Max Cruz, who has got great technical abilities. We should be making someone like him super usable. You know, the overpowered players in the game every single time should not be the pace merchants with 5-star skill moves and or 5-star weak foot, right? That shouldn't be the meta. It's sad that it constantly goes to that and is constantly driven towards that. And I think it's fair to say that EA know that as well, which is why things like rule breakers, and when they did the what was it last year that they did, where they basically put up, oh god damn it, they basically set up all those players to have 5-star weak foots or 5-star skill moves, is because that they know all too well that go on in Cruiser, there we go. Yeah, that's a finesse shot goal as well, which is nice. They know all too well that 5-star skill moves, 5-star weak foot is overpowered as hell, and that's why they, you know, it's not an exact black and white science either. It's not like if you have 5-star you're just insane. There has to be a few other things that come along with that, but that's basically where we're at. So that's the first patch note that is there for us to read. The next one is decreased how accurate a volley can be if the ball is reaching the shot taker at a high speed. I don't mind this one too much, you know. I think last year, this year, there's a new scoring technique that's going to be overpowered and broken. All right, and I'm going to show it to you guys if we get the opportunity to in this game. I saw it on Reddit. I've tried it out a couple of times myself in certain scenarios, and obviously it requires better players than I have here today to do it. So if it doesn't work today, that makes sense as to why. But at the same time, it is clear as day something that is a bit silly. But last year we had the scoop, shoot, and score, right? And score basically anything from a volley perspective, whether it be a cross, a pass, or a shot, seemed to be dramatically more effective or efficient or whatever than not, right? And the same here is in this game. Not necessarily for crossing, although I haven't tried it to be perfectly honest. And oh, that's my bad for defending poorly there. And not necessarily from. We can put some pressure on him there. I've called my keeper way early, but never mind. And not necessarily from passing, but from shooting. I don't know if EA knew that it was what it is, or if it's something that they didn't know about. Or if we're going to get this on purpose or not. But basically, chip volleys from around the edge of the box are stupid overpowered, right? Right here, like that. We almost scored, right? Now, the better players, your Neymars, your Ronaldos, your Messis, etc., are going to perform those chip shots to such a higher degree that they are bound to score more of them than a Huang, which I don't really know what constitutes the good chip shots in the first place. I don't know if it's finishing, if it's shot power, or like what it is. All I do know is that the chip volleys are crazy broken. And the fact that, we're swinging, like scoring almost with Huang, he's a 77 rated player from that range is silly. To carry on, they say adjusted referee logic to better evaluate when a yellow card should be given. This is a step in the right direction. However, it's not the referee logic as to whether or not a yellow should be given or not that's the problem. It's the referee logic in general that's the problem. Sometimes you'll get clattered and nothing will be given, and sometimes you'll breathe near someone and the penalty will be given. It says further improved interception logic in situations where the defending player is directly in the ball's path, and decreased player transition speed into a fake shot while sprinting after the skill move was successfully requested. So they're basically nerfing the running fake shot, which I don't mind. Like, balance is everything, and seeing something like that is okay as well, right? Seeing them nerf an overpowered offensive move is acceptable, because balance is everything. It's something I talk about every year for the last few years, how valuable balance is, right? And balance in offensive play is super important. And the fact that they're further nerfing or looking at interception logic is also very valuable, right? The problem is that they seem to nerf, or let's not use the term nerf, let's use the term balance. They seem to balance the offensive plays far more than the defensive plays, and that, in my opinion, is just wrong in the first place, right? But on top of that, man, this guy's just hitting me on a couple of counters there. Obviously I'm paying a lot of attention to what I'm saying and not a lot of attention really to the game. But on top of that, they seem to balance things that aren't as important to balance at times where it just doesn't make sense. Like I say, like maybe for pro clubs, there's something in it, right? But there seems to be less value in balancing crosses in this game opposed to stepovers, right? Stepovers are an unbelievably broken technique offensively. Why would you? I know they did something with them, but as you can see, basically, if you watch any pro player or any top level player, the stepovers are unbelievably overpowered. And you know what else? There's two other things that are unbelievably overpowered. The bridge, which is what he just did there, which got him through into a place where he's ended up scoring from it as well, where you can't defend it. And I will love to show you guys that goal after the game to show you exactly how the bridge was just so broken for him that you literally and physically cannot defend it, right? But the other thing that's super, super broken is the skill move cancel. The skill move cancel does things for you that otherwise... Is this guy like... Otherwise, you can't do. And so it would be better, in my opinion, if they worked on balancing those offensive aspects, as long as, once again, it was in tandem with balancing the defensive areas of this game. You know, there's no point, absolutely no point, balancing, like nerfing, balancing, whatever we're going to call it, all of these offensive setups. What on earth has my keeper done there? If they're just going to leave like the stupid defense the same, because all it's going to do is it's just going to create people to build these just stupid... Oh, come on now, I nearly got through. These stupid scoring scenarios that don't represent real football. And that's not what we're here for. We are playing a football game. We want to watch a football game. We want to play a football game. And he's going to get the goal there as well. Very nice rainbow flick. I'm literally just getting countered by this guy. I think he's just remembered that the double tap RB exists. Wow, he's actually giving me goals. Not that I can do much from it here. I suppose we could score from outside the box. Okay, I suppose we can't score from outside the box. Fair enough. But yeah, so there is that. Right, we scored from outside the box there with a finesse shot. I need crosses as well, really, don't I? Nice of this guy to give me a goal. Maybe he thinks I've been giving him goals. I haven't been. He's just been hitting me on the counter like that. And then, yeah, after that, it's like addressed some issues. Improved animation selection logic when attempting to make a save versus a player-controlled goalkeeper. Again, I've really got to stop reading the stuff here. Sometimes fouls around the edge of the box were resulting in seemingly incorrect ball placements from set pieces, and a few other little bits here and there. Nothing like from what I've seen that was too major at all. So we've actually got the driven cross here. I mean, is that a foul? I thought that was a foul. So there you go. Now, the tweet from me that kind of started it all, right, was about injury time. And it's something we talked briefly about in a previous video. And something that I just want to basically explain what happens and where the debate about scripting, handicap, and momentum stemmed from. So basically, from what I've kind of observed, and I'm sure you guys have observed the same thing, right? If you're winning comfortably in EA's opinion, so let's say you're 3 goals up, or if you're losing comfortably in EA's opinion, let's say you're 3 goals down, right? EA will decide that no matter what the scenario of the game is, as soon as the injury time is done, the game is over, right? So you could be 3-0 up, clean through on goal. You could literally be in the box. If you're 3-0 up and you're in the box, right? EA will just blow the whistle at, let's say there's 1 minute of injury time and you're 3 goals up. That's it. It's just, it's half time or it's full time. That's it. They don't care where you're at, what's happening or anything. However, if the game is perceived to be close, maybe it's a draw, or maybe it's 1 goal difference or 2 goal difference, that's when the game will allow you a lot more time to actually play through your scenario to see if you can score, right? And so what that creates is, first of all, it creates this world that is stupid, because when we're doing objectives like we are now, if it's 91 minutes in and there's 1 minute of injury time and we're clean through on goal and we need 1 more objective, let's say I need a finesse shot goal with Max Cruiser to complete the objective, right? Let's say I get through with Max Cruiser and all of a sudden I'm in the box, I'm about to take my shot, and EA like, no, it's full time because you were 5-0 up, this game doesn't need to be played on, right? It doesn't make sense. Now, obviously in real life, if a team's like mad in front, the ref will just blow as soon as the time's up, because it's like, why prolong the pain, so to speak, of the people that are playing, you know? But this isn't real life. This is FIFA, right? And so because of the objectives and the way the objective system works, if I'm on a break, if I'm having, if I'm developing an attacking scenario, let me develop that regardless of what the score is or what you think is, what you think is happening in the game. And, yeah, basically, like, allow me to develop. This guy subbed on Rafael Varane. What the hell? Allow me to develop the play. Allow me to develop the play. And if I score, brilliant. If it doesn't make a difference to the scoreline anyway, it doesn't make a difference if I'm able to have the shot or not. However, if you are in a tight scenario of a game, like let's say you're within 2 goals, it will let the scenario play out, which obviously for other reasons can be really rewarding or really frustrating. Because it could be really rewarding because you could be, come on now, you could be 1 goal up, and in one game, the refs straight away, because you're 5 goals up, he just blows bang on. And in another game, watch, this will be full time straight away. There you go. Doesn't allow any time because there's a 3 goal difference. If that was 6-5 and I put that cross up, I would have won that header. I would have developed the play. It would have allowed me. And so basically what the game does is the game decides, and I think it's 2 goals the buffer. I think at 2 goals it allows the play to develop, and after 3 goals difference it doesn't. But basically, the game decides, okay, this game is out of touch, it's out of reach. The score is like the scenario is insurmountable, essentially. Like this player cannot possibly get back, so we're just going to bang, blow up full time, no problem at all, right? It would be okay if they did it all the time one way or all the time the other way. And I don't really care which way that is. If they just want to decide, look, we're just going to blow bang on the stoppage time regardless of the scenario, I'm happy with that. Or if they're just going to say, we're just going to let this play develop regardless of the scenario, I'm also happy with that. But don't chop and change based on the scoreline. Now, when I tweeted that, it seemed to spark this understanding of that I was accepting or admitting that this is scripting, handicap, momentum, or DDA of the sorts. But the reason why it's not is because the game doesn't care whether you're winning or losing. The game doesn't care whether it's by 3 goals, 10 goals, or 20 goals. And the game doesn't care whether you're against a better player or a lesser player, whether you have a better player, a better team or a lesser team, whether you've spent money or haven't spent money. It is literally static to a scoreline, and that's it. If you're 2 goals, 1 goal, or 0 goals up or down, it will allow the play to develop. If it's 3 or more goals outside of that range, it won't allow the play to develop. That you cannot manipulate that to a favor. Now, there is the argument to be made that yes, that will allow, for example, if you're 2-1 up and your opponent gets his play developed and he equalizes for 2-2, then you go on to lose that game in extra time. There's an argument to say, look, if the ref just blew at full time like he should have done, that wouldn't have happened. I would have won the game. And that is absolutely fair, which is why I would say it should either be one or the other, not both. You should either get all of the play to develop and let that last attack happen, or you should always bang on the injury time to have it blown as full time. But it does not, I don't even want to say in my opinion, because I don't think it's opinion based. It is factual that it does not choose whether or not it lets a play developed based on whether you're winning, losing, good or bad, have or haven't spent money, have a better or worse team. Like it's not going to be like, oh, you're 10-0 and your opponent's 7-3, so we're going to let his play develop, but we wouldn't let yours develop if you had one. It doesn't look at or choose based on you or what's happening in the game. It literally just looks at, is the score 2-0, 2-1 or 0 goals in reach? Yes, okay, the play can develop. Is the score 3+ goals out of reach? Yes, okay, full time. So there's no scripting, handicap, or momentum there. It is just a stupid system within the game. That's all. Now, I just want to showcase this goal here. It was this one, I think. Yeah, it doesn't show it all, but he used the bridge there, right there, and look at what it does to my defender. It makes my defender walk away and come back into place. And then, of course, I think he gets cut back here, yeah. And so going back to like the balancing things, why not balance that? That's just silly broken. The bridge move this year is so dumb, it's so broken, so overpowered. It certainly requires more attention than crosses, in my personal experience, in my personal opinion, of course. To carry on with like the whole scripting, handicap, and momentum thing, I would love to get into a call with, I know Run the Foot Market Nick believes in DDA. I think Haber responded and said he was down. I know Nick 28T believes in scripting or momentum of sorts, and their definitions are all different within their own thought process. I would genuinely love to have a discussion with them and just understand their perspective of what is and what isn't, how it works, where it works, and what benefit they may think EA would get out of it. And so, my Allairs are finally selling for a fair bit. That's always nice. And yeah, based on that, I think we could have a great conversation and a great discussion about it. And so I suppose we'll leave with the question to you guys, like, do you guys believe in scripting, handicap, momentum, DDA, etc.? If so, why? And if not, why not? And I literally would have so many questions. There is so much anecdotal evidence that suggests scripting does exist. And let me tell you guys something. I used to believe in scripting. I 100% used to believe in scripting. I made a video, I think, in FIFA 12, bitching and moaning about how the game was scripted, right? Over time, my critical thinking has changed. My perception on the game has changed. My perspective of how things work has changed. And I've very quickly begun to understand and became to understand that, yeah, it's not like EA don't care whether you win or lose. They have skill-based matchmaking in place to keep the games as even as possible. They put shiny promo cards in packs to make people want to buy new packs. You know, I see some arguments of like, oh, it's to sell packs. You know, they script the game to sell packs. All right, well, if you've got Kylian Mbappe and he's missing shot after shot and your opponent's Danny Welbeck is banging in every goal, that for me doesn't incentivize me to buy packs. That doesn't make me think, damn, I need someone better than Kylian Mbappe. That makes me think, what's the point of having Kylian Mbappe if Danny Welbeck's going to do a better job, right? So, like, there are so many debates. As I say, there is so much anecdotal evidence that suggests scripting, handicap, DDA, momentum, whatever it may be, exists. But there is so much actual, factual evidence that says it doesn't. And so I would love to have a discussion with the people, you know, in the industry, in the community that think it does exist, and just ask them some questions, you know, just to like understand their perspective, understand their thought process, understand why they think it. And more importantly, and I think this is the question that I ask myself a lot when playing FIFA, specifically when frustrated at FIFA, more importantly, why they or even you would play the game if you thought EA were leveling the field with underhand tactics. Why would you play the game? Would you ever invest time and energy into your life in something that is like systematically designed to like beat you? You know, why would you come onto this game and grind to try and get those better players if you think for 1 second that EA are just going to nerf those players when somebody goes 2-0 down? Why would you play it? So anyway, that's where I leave this one for you guys. Thank you guys for watching the video. Of course, if you enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like, rating, comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And for now, guys, I'm out. Peace.